One of your viewers noticed I installed my calipers wrong, backwards and inside out on the wrong wheel. So I'm back at the Base Auto Club, seeing what I can do to reverse them side to side, see how long it'll take me. If I can keep this down to a couple hours. Okay, I think I broke all the ones on one side. Let's see if I can turn them off. Front one looks okay. Driver's side, passenger side front's good. Passenger side rear is good. Let's see if I can continue braking this time on the passenger side. I don't know if you can see the calipers there. They're all scratched in a bad way. That's my fault. Good thing I caught them early. Good thing I stayed in the city one more day. Catching my breath. Still not used to working. Not on a regular basis, not physical jobs. Let's see if we can lift it the rest of the way. Just gonna get the wheels off the ground. So that they're just comfortable to work at. Let's get back to you guys in a minute. I'll pause this for now. We'll see you shortly. I got one bolt left to remove the caliper. On the passenger side, I've already got the driver's side off. And I've got the brake line pinched. Removing the driver's side, I did get some fluid coming out of the caliper. So we'll have to watch for that. And let's see if I can put my phone down. Bolts removed. Second bolt's removed. Now I'm gonna take the brake line off the caliper. Not going so good. The brake pads are falling inwards. I'm going to try to slide them if I can. Gonna need some testing my patience. My fingers are already dirtier than I'd hoped. So I don't know what I'm gonna have to do, but it's not going in easy, so I'll be back. The old one's off, the proper one's on, and the bleed nipple right here, the bleed nipple is at the top, and that makes sense because air rises, and because the air rises, that's the best place to bleed the air out of the hydraulic system. So we're almost on our way to the races. So that's tight. This hydraulic line, that's tight. Now I'm gonna do these lines, tightening the caliper on the spider. Not exactly the spider. These here bolts are the spider that are welded to the axle. These here that I'm tightening on, they're part of the brake kit. And before I do anything else, before I put the wheel on, I now have a proper brake bleed kit. So I'll be bleeding the brakes before I go anywhere tonight. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. I didn't get to finish the video last night, so I thought I would re-torque all the wheels. The ones from the front I did on the re-torqued on the weekend. they're loose. The ones I did torque last night, they're still tight. So I already did all of them except the last two. Now I gotta go to Wabasca, Northern Alberta, to see my doctor. And the starting procedure last night at the auto club, while I was helping some guys with their vehicles, I learned what's wrong with mine. I've been starting mine on ether for 2 years. And so I've learned a lot about ether. Some of you might say that I sprayed a lot, and I did. There's a lot of people. One of the issues with spraying ether is everybody says that it's dry and it has a tendency to kill motors, and I would agree. Though this here is 50% ether. That's more ether than most quick starts or cans of ether. There's more ether in these than there is in the rest of them. Most ether is filled with propane and other chemicals, and so I think what's happened is the original ether is often maybe can be dangerous to use, in the sense that it could be too explosive, too dry. So they do add like different chemicals, like oil-based chemicals, which makes it less dangerous that way. And things like propane is less explosive, though still explosive. And here in town in Athabasca, before Napa closed, they used to sell out of this stuff, the Sure Start. It's so good, so much better than regular ether, that Napa would sell out of this monthly before they closed. So I found other places that sell them, like at Greg's Distributors. And to go back to my starting issue is I didn't know anything about diesels. I tried, big rigs are diesels, but I never had like different engine issues or starting issues. And when it was a mechanic dealt with it. I didn't have to worry about it. So now I tried to learn everything I could, assuming it's usually a fuel pump issue eventually. And this is all still while I was severely ill, and so I was scared of mechanics. Granted, a lot of people are scared of mechanics, worried about getting scammed or whatever in some way. We tend to try to find a mechanic we trust, we feel we trust, and I had to relearn everything out of severe illness. And so so just now
spring, in the fall somebody said something about something, I don't remember what it was, but last fall I got a clue. In the spring I did some work changing the real issue is I changed the injector O-rings, and on this one it has a injector tube which I never changed. The problem is I didn't know, and I looked everywhere and I couldn't find anything. Last night I was told I should have and need to change my injector tubes, so I'm gonna work towards that. And now this morning I gotta go get parts for my other truck, a carb kit to rebuild the carb, and hopefully I'll have that truck running soon, running properly. It seems to be flooding, and also the exhaust manifold has a leak which would cause it to smoke, and so now this truck here, I got a call a mechanic, the same guy that told me about the injector tubes. He gave me the name of a mechanic shop that specializes in diesel injection, so I'm gonna call them and see see what they can tell me if I can get away with rebuilding the injectors, or by that I mean just replacing the injector tips, and to rebuild the injector, and then so I already bought an O-ring kit when I didn't know I needed to buy injector tubes. So before I do anything else with the motor, with the injectors, I need to order injector tubes. So I've got the O-rings. I need injector tubes before I do anything else. I've got one injector, and I'm looking to rebuild or replace my injectors, probably one at a time. So we'll see what I can do. And that bumper, my Boost Moose bumper, I really don't like it. It sticks out about a foot from the rest of the grill, and it makes it so I can't reach anything in the motor without climbing on the stool. And I bought scaffolding just to get under the hood of my truck, because I hate it. I love the older 1-tons that were low to the ground. The suspension was sprung underneath the axle, and it seems Ford started a trend of mounting the leaf springs on top of the axle. And in the early 90s, a friend, a military vet who'd been blinded by an accident, military accident, he described how impressed he was with it by the fact he could lean his chin against the hood. The hood was high enough that he could rest his arms on his chin, on the hood, and to him that meant it was a hell of a truck. So anyway, I hate the fact, and today downtown Edmonton and some of the trucks aren't lifted in the traditional sense. They come from the factory. Some of the half tons come from the factory higher than my 3/4 ton. That about drives me insane, almost as much as 20 years ago when I started driving big rigs. The neighbor's pickup was louder than my big rig. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that a pickup would be louder than a big rig. All right. Have a good day.